You think inflation is your enemy? It's actually your cover. I watched a SaaS founder lose 40% of his churn because he lowered his price to help his customers. By the time he realized he'd killed the perceived value, it was already too late. This is the 2026 value paradox. I see it every day. The desperate urge to explain overhead costs to a customer who only cares about their own status. If your supply costs jump 20%, do you send a transparent email explaining the crisis, absorb the cost to maintain trust, or offer a budget version? 3, 2, 1. The engineering move is option 4. You don't mention costs. You upgrade the offer to a premium tier that is 50% more expensive and make the current price the limited legacy option. The Plassmann Study proves fairness is a biological myth. High prices don't just signal quality, they physically create the sensation of quality in the brain. Your apologies aren't honest. They're neon signs saying, "I don't believe I'm worth this." Comment below with the last time you felt guilty for charging what you're worth. Let's see how many of us are still operating on the 99% manual. You're watching a competitor with half your experience charge triple and get a standing ovation. You actually wondered if you should have lied about your credentials, even though your work is objectively better. Quiz. A prospect says, "That's way out of my budget." Your response? 1. Ask for their budget to meet it. 2. List more features. 3. Offer a payment plan. 3, 2, 1. The move. Agree it's expensive. Then compare it to the cost of the cheap version failing. Now, your 4x price jump is just safety insurance. Tversky and Kahneman's anchoring effect proves the brain doesn't know worth, only relativity. In 2026, cheap means disposable. You aren't saving them money. You're insulting their survival instincts. Who here lost a client because you were too affordable? It's time to admit the common sense trap killed your 2025 growth. Now we enter the territory of the Veblen command. It's that sickening gut punch realization that the elite are actually buying because the price went up, not despite it. I spent years trying to be kind with my rates, agonizing over every dollar, only to realize my kindness was actually the cage keeping the high-value players away. Let's test your 2026 survival instincts. You want to jump your revenue by 30% without finding a single new customer. What's the move? 1. Launch a 24-hour flash sale. 2. Introduce a loyalty program with points. 3. Bundle your services into a value pack. 3, 2, 1. Option 4. The subconscious engineering move. You create an inconvenience barrier. You limit your availability and raise the price for priority access. People don't pay more for the labor, they pay more to be part of the few who can pay. Thorstein Veblen proved this over a century ago. The Veblen Effect shows that demand actually increases as prices rise because of the status it signals. In 2026, status is the only currency that consistently outpaces inflation. Remember, scarcity is a mathematical fact, but premiumness is a psychological hallucination you are responsible for maintaining. The crime here is trying to be useful when the market is starving for exclusive. Utility is a commodity. Status is a monopoly. I was out there trying to sell high-quality hammers in a world that just wanted to be the one holding the gavel. Hard work is just what you do when you don't understand how to engineer desire. Are you ready to stop being the affordable choice? Type Veblen if you're finally ready to take the remote control. Because here's the master key. Inflation isn't a cost of living crisis. It's a cost of certainty crisis. The masters don't raise prices to cover their utility bills. They raise prices to cover the customer's deep-seated fear of being average. You see the invisible strings now. Every expensive tag is just a dopamine hit waiting to be triggered. The math doesn't matter. The engineering does. Will you keep being fair, or will you finally be profitable?